Hey, Hunter,
Hello.
can you just give a little bit of background about yourself, like who you are, sort of where in the world you are, and what you do for a job?
I mainly work in post-production as a visual effects artist, and I'm in Los Angeles, California. But yeah, so I'm a visual effects compositor trying to transition into color grading. Before we met, when I wanted to learn Baselight or even Resolve, I relied solely on the internet, YouTube videos. I had reached a certain limit with what I could do with Baselight's tutorials specifically, and I needed to go further. And it really all started out with me finding a random video online, and yours made a lot of sense and was very direct and clear. And then I found out, oh, you also offer personal training. Like, well, yes, that'd be the next springboard for me.
How many hours of coaching have we had now, and what have we covered so far?
Oh, goodness. 6 to 8 hours. So at first you start off slow and you say, look, let's just understand the software. Let's just understand, excuse me, what a color grader does. And then now that we're a little bit more comfortable as the lessons go on and say, hey, let's do some hypotheticals. We go through it together. You might show me something, share your screen, and then you're like, hey, why don't you do this? And then you see me foul up or something. You're like, okay, why did you do that? Okay, why don't you try this?
Yeah, and I love the dialogue that we can have while we are coaching. I see you do one thing and I can maybe suggest a hotkey to do that faster in the future.
Funny enough, I have not asked you for any color grading help, but I feel like for me, that's like the easy part. Just because I can dial in some colors doesn't mean I can actually hold a career in color timing. I need to be able to understand the app. I need to be able to deliver in a timeline. I need to be able to not get confused in the software. You're there to help guide me through it.
And that's exactly right. I'm definitely there to enable you to understand the technical in terms of color grading that we've looked at, how to blur your shape effectively and how to track your shape. It's not, what color are you using in that shape? Being able to understand the software, that's sort of the aim of these coaching calls.
I will reach out to you again for more. Even though I'm keeping really good notes and even though I'm practicing by myself, as I'm practicing these things, something else comes up and I said, hey, remember when we learned this thing? Like, what about this? What about that? It's good to stay current. And the best way to stay current is to talk to someone in that field who's actually using that software, who is going through the trenches. It's good to know that you're there.
Just thinking back to my YouTube series on conforming, some of those things that I say in those videos are out of date now. And, all of those key concepts are still in place. But personally, the way that I conform has changed. So that's only about 6 months old.
Right.
YouTube assets and videos and forums, they go out of date quite quickly.
It's not that they're not helpful. It's just, reaching out to an instructor, to a mentor who's actually in the fields is invaluable. This is better. That's all. I'm at a point where I needed to absorb a lot. It wasn't just like one thing. Basically feeling more comfortable with the software and just opening it up, finishing something was the real goal. I've learned so much and I will continue to reach out for you for more help. I'll learn something, I'll practice it. I might forget a few things. I'll say, hey, how do we do this again? Or let's try this again. But usually over time, it's been the next tier of learning and let's try something more difficult or so on and so forth. Our communication, that was the thing that stood out. Your availability and your price.
That was going to be my follow-up question. Do you think the coaching was worth the money? Because that is, of course, a very valid question to ask when someone's looking at applying for coaching.
Your prices are very competitive, and that makes me not worry about the time, the price. I'm more just at ease learning. We're trying to get these careers because it's what we love and it pays. I'm trying to learn the craft. So I just don't want to be held back by the financials. Thanks for keeping it affordable.
I've been working as an assistant for the past few years. I definitely haven't started earning enough money for me to forget how important it is to be able to get your foot in the door.
This isn't a hypothetical thing. You didn't learn something online and now you're just sort of making a video on it. Like, you have to perform these tasks. It's your career. I feel like anyone could reach out to you, but generally the majority of people who should are the ones who need to improve their skill set or are just starting out.
As you said, hopefully this is a sort of an ongoing relationship. So, it's great to know that we can always open a dialogue.
It's important for someone like myself to reach out to you, like I'm a new compositor trying to change my career path. So you're the reason why I've been able to excel so much.
Really do appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Keep it up.
Yeah, thank you, mate. Thank you, mate.
All right.
We'll talk soon.